Algeria is a country in North Africa on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 6 other countries, which are Libya, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Niger, and Tunisia. The flag of Algeria is vertically divided in half of green and white, featuring a red crescent moon and star in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Algiers. The country has an area of 919,595 square miles, or 2,381,741 square kilometers, making it the largest country in Africa, and has a population of over 43.5 million people. The nation is mostly in the Sahara Desert, with the majority of the population on or near the Mediterranean coast. Algeria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $468.4 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $10,700. Angola is a country in southern Africa. It borders 4 other countries, which are Zambia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the Republic of the Congo, and Namibia. The flag of Angola is made up of 2 vertical stripes of red and black, with a yellow gear and machete crossed, as well as a yellow star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Luanda. The country has an area of 481,354 square miles, or 1,246,700 square kilometers, and a population of over 33 million people. 54.3% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Angola has a purchasing power parity GDP of $203.71 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,200. Benin is a country in Western Africa. It borders 4 other countries, which are Togo, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, and Niger. The flag of Benin is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of yellow and red, as well as a vertical green stripe on the left of the flag. The capital of the nation is Porto Novo, and the largest city is Cotonou. The country has an area of 44,310 square miles, or 114,763 square kilometers, and a population of over 13 million people. The nation was named after the Bight of Benin, which is the body of water off the coast. Benin has a purchasing power parity GDP of $40.29 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,300. Botswana is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It borders 4 other countries, which are Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia, and Zambia. The flag of Botswana is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white and black, on top of a light blue field. The capital and largest city in the nation is Gaborone, which has a population of over 279,000 people. The nation is an area of 224,607 square miles, or 581,730 square kilometers, making it about the size of Texas, and has a population of over 2 million people. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 79.1% of the population. Botswana has a purchasing power parity GDP of $37.72 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $16,000. Burkina Faso is a country in Western Africa. It borders 6 other nations, which are Ghana, Togo, Mali, Niger, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire. Its flag is made up of 2 stripes of red and green with a yellow star in the middle. Burkina Faso has over 21 million people and is the 59th most populous country in the world. The capital, which is also the largest city, is Ouagadougou, which has a population of over 2 million people. The nation's landlocked is 170,379 square miles, or 274 square kilometers. The biggest use of land is agriculture, which takes 44% of the land. The majority of Burkina Faso's population is Muslim. 63.2% of the people belong to that faith. Burundi is a landlocked country in Central Africa. It borders 3 other countries, which are Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Tanzania. The flag of Burundi is made up of 4 sections of red and green separated by a white diagonal cross, with a white circle containing 3 red 6-sided stars, with green outlines in the middle. Gitega is the nation's political capital, whereas Bujumbura is the commercial capital. The country has an area of 17,292 square miles, or 27,830 square kilometers, and a population of over 12 million people. 73.3% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. Burundi has a purchasing power parity GDP of $8.69 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $700. Cameroon is a country in Central Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 6 other countries, which are the Central African Republic, Equatorial Guinea, the Republic of the Congo, Chad, Gabon, and Nigeria. The flag of Cameroon is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, red, and yellow, with a yellow 5-point star in the center of the flag. The capital of the nation is Yaoundé, and the largest city is Douala, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 179,943 square miles, or 466,050 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of California, and has a population of over 29 million people, which ranks it behind Venezuela. Cameroon has a purchasing power parity GDP of $94.94 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,600. Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde, is an island nation off the coast of Western Africa. The flag of Cape Verde is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white and red, on a blue background of 10 yellow stars in the shape of a circle. The capital and largest city in the country is Praia, which has a population of over 137,000 people. The nation is an area of 1,557 square miles, or 4,033 square kilometers, and a population of over 500,000 people. Cape Verde has a purchasing power parity GDP of $3.36 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,000. The Central African Republic is a landlocked country in Central Africa. It borders 6 other countries, which are Cameroon, Chad, Sudan, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and the Republic of the Congo. The flag of the Central African Republic is made up of 4 horizontal stripes of blue, white, green, and yellow, with a vertical red stripe dividing the flag in half, as well as a yellow 5-point star in the upper left corner. The capital and largest city in the nation is Bangui. The country has an area of 240,324 square miles, or 622,436 square kilometers, and a population of over 5 million people. The Central African Republic has a purchasing power parity GDP of $4.4 $1.483 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $900. Chad is a landlocked country in Central Africa. It borders 6 other countries, which are the Central African Republic, Sudan, Cameroon, Nigeria, Libya, and Niger. The flag of Chad is made up of 3 vertical stripes of blue, yellow, and red, and is almost identical to the flag of Romania. The capital and largest city in the nation is N'Djamena, which has a population of over 900,000 people. The country has an area of 495,755 square miles, or 1,284,000 kilometers, making it a little bit smaller than Peru, and has a population of just under 18 million people. French and Arabic are the official languages in the nation, and Islam is the most common religion, which makes up 52.1% of the population. Chad has a purchasing power parity GDP of $24.97 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,500. Comoros is an island nation in the Indian Ocean, off the coast of southern Africa. The flag of Comoros is made up of 4 horizontal stripes of yellow, white, red, and blue, with a green triangle on the left which contains a crescent moon and 4 stars stacked vertically. The capital and largest city in the country is Moroni, which has a population of over 74,000 people. The nation has an area of 1,388 square miles, or 2,235 square kilometers, and a population of over 864,000 people. Sunni Islam is the nation's official religion, which makes up 98% of the population. Comoros has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.73 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,100. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is a country in Central Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 9 other countries, which are Angola, Zambia, Burundi, Uganda, the Central African Republic, Tanzania, the Republic of the Congo, Rwanda, and South Sudan. The flag of the Democratic Republic of the Congo is made up of 3 diagonal stripes of yellow and red, as well as a yellow star on top of a blue background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Kinshasa, which is located on the Congo River. The country has an area of 905,568 square miles, or 2,345,410 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Algeria, and has a population of over 108 million people, which ranks it ahead of Egypt. The Democratic Republic of the Congo has a purchasing power parity GDP of $96.03 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,100. The Republic of the Congo is a country in Central Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 5 other countries, which are the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Angola, Gabon, and Cameroon. The flag of the Republic of the Congo features a diagonal yellow stripe, which divides the flag into 2 parts of green and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Brazzaville, which is just across the Congo River from Kinshasa, which is the capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The country has an area of 132,047 square miles, or 342,000 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Montana, and has a population of over 5.5 billion people, which ranks it ahead of the Central African Republic. The Republic of the Congo has a purchasing power parity GDP of $19.03 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,400. Djibouti is a country in East Africa, on the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. It borders 3 other countries, which are Ethiopia, Somalia, and Eritrea. The flag of Djibouti is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and green, as well as a white triangle on the left side, which contains a red star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Djibouti City. The country has an area of 8,880 square miles, or 23,000 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of New Jersey, and has a population of over 957,000 people, which ranks it behind Eswatini or Swaziland. Djibouti has a purchasing power parity GDP of $5.42 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $5,500. Egypt is a country in North Africa. It borders 3 other widely recognized countries, which are Libya, Israel, and Sudan, as well as the partially recognized state of Palestine on the Gaza Strip. The flag of Egypt is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and black, with an eagle in the flag center. The capital and largest city in the nation is Cairo, which is also the 3rd largest city in Africa. The country has an area of 384,791 square miles, or 996,603 square kilometers, and a population of over 106 million people. The official language of the country is Arabic, and 90% of the population is Muslim. 95% of Egypt's population is near the Nile River. The nation contains the Suez Canal, which is one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Egypt has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.223 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,000. Equatorial Guinea is a country in Central Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 2 other countries, which are Cameroon and Gabon. The flag of Equatorial Guinea is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green, white, and red, with a blue triangle on the left side, and the national coat of arms in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Malabo, which is located on the island of Bioko, which is planned to be replaced by Ciudad de La Paz, and the largest city is Bata. The country has an area of 10,831 square miles, or 28,051 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than the state of Maryland, and has a population of over 1.5 million people. Spanish and French are official languages in the nation. Contrary to the name, the entire country is located north of the equator. Equatorial Guinea has a purchasing power parity GDP of $23.86 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $17,000. Eritrea is a country in East Africa on the Red Sea. It borders 3 other countries, which are Sudan, Djibouti, and Ethiopia. The flag of Eritrea features a red triangle on the left, dividing the flag into 2 sections of green and blue, with a wreath and olive branch on the left side. The capital and largest city in the nation is Asmara. The country has an area of 46,757 square miles, or 121,100 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania, and has a population of over 6 million people, which ranks it ahead of Kyrgyzstan. Eritrea has a purchasing power parity GDP of $9.702 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,600. Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It borders two other countries, which are South Africa and Mozambique. The flag of Eswatini is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of blue, yellow, and red, with a depiction of a shield, 2 spears, and a staff in the center of the flag. The largest city in the nation is Mzini, which has a population of over 30,000 people. The country is an area of 6,703 square miles, or 17,360 square kilometers, and a population of over 1 million people. The country is mostly mountainous, and is almost surrounded by South Africa. Eswatini has a purchasing power parity GDP of $9.74 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $8,400. Ethiopia is a landlocked country in eastern Africa. It borders 6 other countries, which are South Sudan, Djibouti, Sudan, Eritrea, Somalia, and Kenya. The flag of Ethiopia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green, yellow, and red, with the national emblem in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Addis Ababa, which has a population of over 3 million people. The country is an area of 410,678 square miles, or 1,063,652 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Bolivia, and has a population of over 113.5 million people, which ranks it behind the Philippines. Ethiopia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $264.05 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,300. Gabon is a country in Central Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 3 other countries, which are the Republic of the Congo, Cameroon, and Equatorial Guinea. The flag of Gabon is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green, yellow, and blue. The capital and largest city in the nation is Libreville, which has a population of over 700,000 people. The country is an area of 103,347 square miles, or 267,667 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than New Zealand, and has a population of over 2 million people, which ranks at the head of Lesotho. The official language in the nation is French. Gabon has a purchasing power parity GDP of $32.05 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $14,400. The Republic of the Gambia is a country in Western Africa. It borders 1 other country, which is Senegal. The flag of the Gambia is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of red, white, blue, and green. The capital and largest city in the nation is Banjul. The country is an area of 4,127 square miles, or 10,689 square kilometers, and a population of over 2 million people. The Gambia is the smallest country in Africa, which isn't an island. The nation is made up of the narrow area around the Gambia River. The Gambia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $5.22 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,200. Ghana is a country in Western Africa. It borders 3 other countries, which are Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, and Togo. The flag of Ghana is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, yellow, and green, which are the Pan-African colors, as well as a black 5-point star in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Accra. The country is an area of 92,098 square miles, or 238,533 square kilometers, and a population of over 32 million people. The nation has a tropical climate, and 69.1% of its land is used for agriculture. Ghana has a purchasing power parity GDP of $164.84 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $5,300. Guinea is a country in West Africa. It borders 6 other countries, which are Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Mali, and Senegal. The flag of Guinea is made up of 3 vertical stripes of red, yellow, and green, which are the Pan-African colors. The capital and largest city in the nation is Conakry. The country is an area of 152,768 square miles, or 245,857 square kilometers, and a population of over 12 million people. French is the official language, though about 40 languages are spoken. Islam is the majority religion, making up 89.1% of the nation. Guinea has a purchasing power parity GDP of $35.08 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,700. Guinea-Bissau is a country in Western Africa. It borders 2 other countries, which are Guinea and Senegal. The flag of Guinea-Bissau is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of yellow and green, as well as a vertical red stripe on the left of the flag, with a black 5-pointed star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Bissau. The country is an area of 22,447 square miles, or 36,125 square kilometers, and a population of just under 2 million people. 55% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Guinea-Bissau has a purchasing power parity GDP of $3.64 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,800. Cote d'Ivoire, also known as the Ivory Coast, is a country in West Africa. It borders 5 other countries, which are Burkina Faso, Ghana, Guinea, Liberia, and Mali. The flag of Cote d'Ivoire is made up of 3 vertical stripes of orange, white, and green. The largest city in the nation is Abidjan, which has a population of over 4 million people. The country has an area of 200,369 square miles, or 322,463 square kilometers, and a population of over 28 million people. The official language of the nation is French. Cote d'Ivoire has a purchasing power parity GDP of $136.48 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $5,200. Kenya is a country in the east of Africa. It borders 5 different countries, which are Somalia, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Uganda. The flag of Kenya is made up of black, red, white, and green stripes with a shield and spears in the middle. The country is named after Mount Kenya, which is the nation's highest point at 17,057 feet, or 5,199 meters. Kenya has a population of over 54,000 people, making it the 27th most populous country in the world. The majority of Kenya's population is Christian, with 85.5% of the people being part of that faith. Agriculture dominates the Kenyan economy, with approximately 75% of the population working in that industry, most of which is on small farms. The capital of Kenya is Nairobi, which has a population of over 4 million people and is located in Nairobi County. The nation gained independence from the British Empire on December 12, 1963. Kenya uses the Kenyan shilling for currency. Lesotho is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It is completely surrounded by South Africa. The flag of Lesotho is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of blue, white, and green, with a black symbol representing a hat in the center. The capital and largest city in Lesotho is Maseru, which has a population of over 330,000 people. The country has an area of 18,861 square miles, or 30,355 square kilometers, and a population of over 2 million people. 76.1% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. Lesotho has a GDP of $4.88 billion, and a GDP per capita of $2,300. Liberia is a country in Western Africa. It borders 3 other countries, which are Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone. The flag of Liberia is made up of 11 stripes of red and white, as well as a square blue field with a white 5-pointed star in the upper left corner. The capital and largest city in the nation is Monrovia, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 37,466 square miles, or 97,036 square kilometers, and a population of over 5 million people. Liberia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $6.85 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,400. Libya is a country in northern Africa. It borders 6 countries, which are Tunisia, Algeria, Chad, Sudan, Egypt, and Niger. The flag of Libya is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, black, and green, with a crescent moon and star in the center. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tripoli. Libya has an area of 1,093,327 square miles, or 1,759,540 square kilometers, ranking it 18th in the world. The country has a population of over 7 million people, ranking it 105th in the world. The official language of Libya is Arabic, and the official religion is Islam. Most of the population lives along the coast on the Mediterranean. Libya has a GDP of $70.65 billion, and a GDP per capita of $10,300. Madagascar is an island nation in southern Africa, in the Indian Ocean. The flag of Madagascar is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and green, as well as a vertical white stripe on the left side of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Antananarivo, which has a population of over 1 million people. The nation has an area of 226,756 square miles, or 587,295 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Botswana, and has a population of over 28 million people, which ranks it ahead of Australia. Madagascar has a purchasing power parity GDP of $41.82 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,500. Malawi is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It borders 3 other countries, which are Mozambique, Zambia, and Tanzania. The flag of Malawi is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of black, red, and green, with a red rising sun with 31 rays on the top stripe. The capital and largest city in the nation is Lilongwe, which has a population of over 989,000 people. The country has an area of 45,853 square miles, or 118,760 square kilometers, and a population of over 20 million people. 59.2% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. Malawi has a purchasing power parity GDP of $28.44 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,500. Mali is a landlocked country in Western Africa. It borders 7 other countries, which are Senegal, Niger, Mauritania, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, and Algeria. The flag of Mali is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, yellow, and red, which are the Pan-African colors. The capital and largest city in the nation is Bamako, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 770,619 square miles, or 1,240,192 square kilometers, and a population of over 20 million people. The official language of the nation is French, and the most common religion is Islam, which makes up 93.9% of the country. Mali has a purchasing power parity GDP of $44.89 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,200. Mauritania is a country in Western Africa. It borders 4 other widely recognized countries, which are Senegal, Morocco, Mali, and Algeria, as well as the partially recognized Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic or Western Sahara. The flag of Mauritania features a star and crescent moon on a green field, with 2 horizontal red stripes on the top and bottom of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Nouakchott. The nation has an area of 397,956 square miles, or 1,030,700 kilometers, and a population of over 4 million people. Most of the country is in the Sahara Desert. Mauritania has a purchasing power parity GDP of $23.17 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $5,000. Mauritius is an island nation off the coast of southeastern Africa. The flag of Mauritius is made up of 4 horizontal stripes of red, blue, yellow, and green. The capital and largest city in the country is Port Louis, which has a population of over 145,000 people. The nation has an area of 775 square miles, or 2,007 square kilometers, and a population of over 1 million people. The most common religion is Hinduism, which makes up 48.5% of the population. Mauritius has a purchasing power parity GDP of $24.64 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $19,500. Morocco is a country in North Africa. It borders either 3 or 4 other countries, depend on if you recognize the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. The widely recognized nations and borders are Algeria, Mauritania, and Spain. The flag of Morocco features a green 5-pointed linear star on top of a red field. The capital of the country is Rabat, and the largest city is Casablanca, which has a population of over 3 million people. The nation is an area of 158,300 square miles, or 410,000 square kilometers, and a population of over 36,000 people. It is the only African country which has coastlines on both the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. Morocco has a purchasing power parity GDP of $259.42 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,900. Mozambique is a country in Southeast Africa, on the Indian Ocean. It borders 6 other countries which are Malawi, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia, Swatini or Swaziland, and Tanzania. The flag of Mozambique is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of teal, white, black, and yellow, with a red triangle on the left side of the flag, which contains the yellow star, as well as an AK-47, and a farming tool crossed on top of an open book. The capital and largest city in the nation is Maputo, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 308,642 square miles, or 799,380 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Pakistan, and has a population of over 31.5 billion people, which ranks it behind Peru. Mozambique has a purchasing power parity GDP of $38.42 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,200. Namibia is a country in southern Africa, on the southern Atlantic Ocean. It borders 4 other countries which are Angola, South Africa, Botswana, and Zambia. The flag of Namibia features 3 diagonal stripes of white and red, dividing into 2 sections of blue and green, with a yellow sun in the upper left corner. The capital and largest city in the nation is Windhoek, which has a population of over 300,000 people, and is located in the center of the country. The nation is an area of 318,261 square miles, or 824,292 square kilometers, and a population of over 2 million people. The country is named after the Namib Desert. Namibia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $22.6 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $8,900. Niger is a landlocked country in Western Africa. It borders 7 other countries which are Nigeria, Mali, Libya, Chad, Burkina Faso, Benin, and Algeria. The flag of Niger is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of orange, white, and green, with an orange circle in the middle. The flag is a unique 6:7 ratio. The capital and largest city in the nation is Niamey. The country has a population of over 23 million people. Islam is the main religion in the nation, which makes up 99.3% of the population, and the official language is French. Agriculture takes up 35.1% of the country's land. Niger has a purchasing power parity GDP of $28.97 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,200. Nigeria is a country in West Africa on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 4 other countries which are Benin, Niger, Cameroon, and Chad. The flag of Nigeria is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green and white. The capital of the nation is Abuja, and the largest city is Lagos. The country is an area of 356,669 square miles, or 923,768 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Venezuela, and has a population of over 225 million people, which makes it the most populous country in Africa. Nigeria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.013 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,900. Rwanda is a landlocked country in sub-Saharan Africa. It borders 4 nations, which are Burundi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Tanzania, and Uganda. The flag of Rwanda is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of blue, yellow, and green, with a yellow image of the sun on the blue top stripe, which is also thicker than the others. The capital and largest city in Rwanda is Kigali, which has a population of over 800,000 people. The nation has an area of 16,365 square miles, or 26,338 square kilometers. It has a population of just under 13 million people. 74.5% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. Rwanda has a GDP of $27.18 billion, and a GDP per capita of $2,100. Sao Tome and Principe is an African island nation in the Gulf of Guinea. The flag of Sao Tome and Principe is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green and yellow, with 2 black stars in the center, and a red triangle on the left of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Sao Tome, which means St. Thomas in Portuguese. The nation has an area of 386 square miles, or 1,001 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Hong Kong, and has a population of over 217,000 people. Portuguese is the official language, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion, which makes up 55.7% of the population. It is the 2nd smallest country in Africa, ranking ahead of Seychelles. Sao Tome and Principe has a purchasing power parity GDP of $890 million, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,100. Senegal is a country in Western Africa on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 5 other countries which are the Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, and Mauritania. The flag of Senegal is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, yellow, and red, with a green 5-pointed star in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Dakar, which has a population of over 2 million people. The nation is an area of 75,951 square miles, or 196,712 square kilometers, making it a little bit more than twice as big as Indiana, and has a population of over 16 million people. It's the furthest west nation in Africa, and Islam is the most common religion, which makes up 97.2% of the population. Senegal has a purchasing power parity GDP of $55.26 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,300. Seychelles is an island nation off the coast of East Africa, in the Indian Ocean. The flag of Seychelles is made up of 5 triangular stripes of blue, yellow, red, white, and green. The capital and largest city in the country is Victoria, which has a population of over 26,000 people. The nation is an area of 176 square miles, or 467 square kilometers, which makes it more than twice twice the size of Washington, D.C., and has a population of over 97,000 people, which ranks it ahead of Andorra. It is both the smallest and least populous nation in Africa. Seychelles has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.4 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $24,400. Sierra Leone is a country in Western Africa on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders two other countries, which are Guinea and Liberia. The flag of Sierra Leone is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green, white, and blue. The capital and largest city in the nation is Freetown, which has a population of over 1 million people. The nation has an area of 28,158 square miles, or 72,929 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than South Carolina, and has a population of over 8.5 million people. The official language in the country is English, and the most common religion is Islam, which makes up 77.1% of the population. Sierra Leone has a purchasing power parity GDP of $13.15 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,600. Somalia is a country in East Africa. It borders 3 internationally recognized countries, which are Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Kenya, as well as the unrecognized Republic of Somaliland. The flag of Somalia is made up of a blue field with a white star in the middle. The capital and largest city in the nation is Mogadishu, which has a population of over 1 million people. From 1991 to 2012, Somalia had no official national government. The country has a desert climate. The nation has an area of 396,221 square miles, or 637,657 square kilometers, and a population of over 12 million people. Sunni Islam is the official religion in Somalia. Somalia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $13.19 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $800. South Africa is a country in southern Africa, between the Atlantic and Indian Oceans. It borders 6 other countries, which are Botswana, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Eswatini, Mozambique, and Namibia. The flag of South Africa features a green Y shape, bordered by yellow and white, dividing the flag into 3 sections, of black, red, and blue. The nation has 3 capitals, which are Pretoria, Cape Town, and Bloemfontein, and the largest city is Johannesburg. The country has an area of 471,359 square miles, or 1,220,813 square kilometers, making it a little bit smaller than Mali, and has a population of over 57.5 million people. 79.4% of its land is used for agriculture. South Africa has a purchasing power parity GDP of $680.04 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $11,500. South Sudan is a landlocked country in East Central Africa. It borders 6 other countries, which are the Central African Republic, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Kenya. The flag of South Sudan is made up of 5 stripes of black, white, red, and green, with a blue triangle on the left which contains a yellow star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Juba. South Sudan is the world's newest country, gaining independence on July 9th, 2011. The official language of the country is English, and the main religion is Christianity, which makes up 60.5% of the population. The nation has an area of 400,367 square miles, or 644,329 square kilometers, and a population of just under 11 million people. South Sudan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $20.01 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,600. Sudan is a country in Northeast Africa. It borders 7 countries, which are the Central African Republic, Egypt, Chad, South Sudan, Libya, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. The flag of Sudan is made up of 3 stripes of red, white, and black with a green triangle on the left. The nation's capital is Khartoum. The country has a population of over 46 million people, ranking it 31st in the world. It has an area of 1,156,672 square miles, or 1,861,484 square kilometers. Arabic and English are the official languages of the country. Sudan has a GDP of $176.4 billion, and a GDP per capita of $4,000. Tanzania is a country in East Africa on the Indian Ocean. It borders 8 other countries, which are Zambia, Burundi, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Rwanda, Kenya, Mozambique, and Malawi. The flag of Tanzania features 3 diagonal stripes of yellow and black, dividing the flag into 2 green and blue sections. The largest city in the nation is Dar es Salaam, which was founded in 1862. The country has an area of 366,311 square miles, or 948,740 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than Nigeria, and has a population of over 63.5 million people. Swahili and English are the official languages of the nation. It contains Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the highest peak in all of Africa. Tanzania has a purchasing power parity GDP of $152.79 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,600. Togo is a country in Western Africa on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 3 other countries, which are Burkina Faso, Ghana, and Benin. The flag of Togo is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of green and yellow, with a red field in the upper left corner, which contains a white 5-pointed star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Lomé. The country has an area of 21,854 square miles, or 56,600 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit bigger than Croatia, and has a population of over 8 million people. 67.4% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. Togo has a purchasing power parity GDP of $17.45 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,100. Tunisia is a country in North Africa and the Mediterranean Sea. It borders two other countries, which are Libya and Algeria. The flag of Tunisia features a red crescent moon and a 5-point star on top of a white circle on top of a red field. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tunis. The country has an area of 63,170 square miles, or 163,610 square kilometers, and has a population of over 11 million people. Arabic is the official language, and Islam is the official religion. Most of the population is in the north of the nation toward the sea. Tunisia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $114.97 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $9,700. Uganda is a landlocked country in eastern Africa. The nation borders 5 other countries, which are Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kenya, South Sudan, and Tanzania. The flag of Uganda is made up of 6 stripes of black, yellow, and red, with a gray-crowned crane in the center. The capital and largest city is Kampala, which has a population of over 1.5 million people. Uganda has an area of 149,774 square miles, or 241,038 square kilometers, ranking it 81st in the world. The country has a population of over 44 million people, ranking it 33rd in the world. 71.2% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. Uganda has a GDP of $99.61 billion and a GDP per capita of $2,200. Zambia is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It borders 8 countries, which are Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Namibia, Mozambique, Malawi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Botswana, and Angola. The capital and largest city in Zambia is Lusaka, which has a population of over 1 million people. The nation has an area of 467,655 square miles, or 752,618 square kilometers, and a population of over 19 million people. Christianity makes up 95.5% of the country. Forests make up 66.3% of the land. Zambia has a GDP of $60.12 billion and a GDP per capita of $3,300. Zimbabwe is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It borders 4 other countries, which are South Africa, Botswana, Mozambique, and Zambia. The flag of Zimbabwe is made up of 7 horizontal stripes of green, yellow, red, and black, as well as a white triangle bordered by black, which includes a red star and a yellow Zimbabwe bird. The capital and largest city in the nation is Harare. The country has an area of 150,872 square miles, or 390,757 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than Paraguay, and has a population of over 15 million people. The most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which makes up 74.8% of the population. Zimbabwe has a purchasing power parity GDP of $40.79 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,700. Afghanistan is a landlocked country in South Central Asia. It borders 6 other countries, which are China, Uzbekistan, Iran, Pakistan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan. The capital and largest city in the nation is Kabul, which has a population of over 4 million people. The country has an area of 252,072 square miles, or 652,864 square kilometers, and a population of over 37 million people. As of making this video, the country is de facto controlled by the Taliban, which is not recognized by any UN members. Afghanistan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $77.04 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,000. Armenia is a landlocked country in the Caucasus Mountains. It borders 4 other countries, which are Turkey, Iran, Georgia, and Azerbaijan. The flag of Armenia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, blue, and orange. The capital and largest city in the nation is Yerevan, with a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 975 square miles, or 1,570 square kilometers, and a population of over 3 million people. Armenian is the official language, which is spoken by 97.9% of the nation. Armenia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $37.31 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,600. Azerbaijan is a country on the Caspian Sea. It borders 5 other countries, which are Iran, Armenia, Turkey, Georgia, and Russia. The flag of Azerbaijan is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of blue, red, and green, as well as a white 8-pointed star and a crescent moon in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Baku, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 33,436 square miles, or 86,600 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Maine, and has a population of over 10 million people, which ranks it ahead of Portugal. Azerbaijan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $138.51 billion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $13,700. Bahrain is an island country in the Middle East. The capital and largest city in the nation is Manama, which contains approximately 1/5 of the country's population. The flag of Bahrain is made up of a white band separated from a red area by a jagged edge. Bahrain gained independence from the UK on August 15th, 1971. The nation has a population of over 1.5 million people, making it the 154th most populous country in the world. It is an area of 472 square miles, or 760 square kilometers, making it the 187th largest country in the world, as well as the 3rd smallest nation in Asia. The official language of Bahrain is Arabic. The main religion in the country is Islam, with over 73% of the population being Muslim. Bahrain has a GDP of over $69 billion. Bangladesh is a country in southern Asia. It borders 2 other countries, which are Myanmar and India. The flag of Bangladesh features a red circle, which is a little off-center, on top of a dark green field. The capital and largest city in the nation is Dhaka. The country has an area of 56,977 square miles, or 147,570 square kilometers, making it a little smaller than the state of Iowa, and has a population of over 164 million people. Bengali is the official language, which is spoken by 98.8% of the nation, and Islam is the most common religion, which makes up 88.4% of the population. Bangladesh has a purchasing power parity GDP of $793.49 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,800. Bhutan Bhutan is a landlocked country in South Asia. It borders India and China. The flag of Bhutan is divided diagonally between yellow and orange with a white dragon holding 4 jewels in the middle. The capital and largest city is Thimphu, which has a population of over 114,000 people. The nation has a population of over 857,000, making it the 164th most populous country in the world. Buddhism is the most common religion in Bhutan, with over 75% of the population being part of that faith. Bhutan is located in the Himalayan mountains. The country has a GDP of $8.42 billion. Brunei is a country in Southeast Asia. It borders just one other country, which is Malaysia, and is located on the island of Borneo. The flag of Brunei is made up of a yellow field, with 2 diagonal stripes of white and black, as well as the nation's crest in red in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Bandar Seri Begawan, which has a population of over 200,000 people. The nation has an area of 2,226 square miles, or 5,765 square kilometers, and a population of over 471,000 people, which means it has the smallest population in Southeast Asia. The official religion of Brunei is Islam, which makes up 80.9% of the nation. Brunei has a purchasing power parity GDP of $27.23 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $62,200. Cambodia is a country in Southeast Asia. It borders 3 other countries, which are Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam. The flag of Cambodia features a depiction of Angkor Wat in the middle, on top of 3 horizontal stripes of blue and red. The country has an area of 69,898 square miles, or 181,035 square kilometers, or around a third the size of France, and a population of over 17 million people. 56.5% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Cambodia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $70.08 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,200. The People's Republic of China is a country in East Asia, on the Pacific Ocean. It borders 14 other countries, which are Afghanistan, Vietnam, Bhutan, Tajikistan, Myanmar, Russia, India, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Nepal, North Korea, Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, and Laos. The flag of China features a yellow star, as well as 4 smaller yellow stars in the upper left corner, on top of a red background. The capital of the nation is Beijing, and the largest city is Shanghai, which has a population of over 20 million people. The country has an area of 3,696,118 square miles, or 9,572,900 square kilometers, and has a population of over 1 billion people, which ranks it first in the world. China has a purchasing power parity GDP of $23.009 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $16,400. Georgia is a country in the Caucasus Mountains on the Black Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are Turkey, Armenia, Russia, and Azerbaijan. The flag of Georgia features a red cross on top of a white background, dividing the flag into 4 sections, each of which contains a smaller red cross. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tbilisi, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 26,911 square miles, or 69,700 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of West Virginia, and has a population of just under 5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Panama. Georgia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $52.33 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $14,100. India is a country in South Asia, on the Indian Ocean, borders 6 other countries, which are Bangladesh, Pakistan, Bhutan, Myanmar, Nepal, and China. The flag of India is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of saffron, white, and green, with a blue wheel in the center. The capital of the nation is New Delhi, and the largest city by city proper is Mumbai, formerly known as Bombay, which has a population of over 12 million people. The country has an area of 1,269,299 square miles, or 3,287,469 square kilometers, which makes it around a third of the size of the United States, and has a population of over 1 billion people, which ranks it second in the world. India has a purchasing power parity GDP of $8.443 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,100. Indonesia is an island nation in Southeast Asia, on the Indian and Pacific Ocean. It borders 3 other countries, which are Papua New Guinea, Malaysia, and Timor-Leste. The flag of Indonesia is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and white. The capital and largest city in the country is Jakarta, which is located on the island of Java. The nation has an area of 740,122 square miles, or 1,916,907 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Mexico, and has a population of over 277 million people, which ranks it 4th in the world. 51.7% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Indonesia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $3.13 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $11,400. Iran is a country in the Middle East. It borders 7 other countries, which are Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Turkey, and Pakistan. The flag of Iran is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green, white, and red, with the country's national emblem in the center, and Kufic writing along the inner edges of the stripes. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tehran, which has a population of over 8 million people. The country has an area of 631,477 square miles, or 1,635,518 square kilometers, and a population of over 85 million people. The official religion in the nation is Islam, which makes up 99.6% of the population. Iran has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.044 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,400. Iraq is a country in the Middle East on the Persian Gulf. It borders 6 other countries, which are Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, Jordan, Syria, and Kuwait. The flag of Iraq is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and black, with green Kufic text in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Baghdad, which has a population of over 6 million people. The country has an area of 167,974 square miles, or 435,052 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit bigger than Paraguay, and has a population of over 40 million people, which ranks it ahead of Afghanistan. Arabic is the official language in the nation, and Islam is the official religion. Iraq has a purchasing power parity GDP of $372.27 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $9,300. Israel is a country in the Middle East, on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders either 4 or 5 countries, depending on if you recognize the state of Palestine, the others being Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, and Syria. The flag of Israel features a blue Star of David on a white background, with 2 horizontal stripes of blue. The capital of Israel is officially Jerusalem, though its legitimacy is disputed in the international community. The nation has a population of more than 9 million people, which ranks it behind Tajikistan. The most common religion in the country is Judaism, which makes up 74% of the population, followed by Islam in 2nd place, and Christianity in 3rd. Israel has a purchasing power parity GDP of $353.39 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $38,300. Japan is an island nation in East Asia. The flag of Japan is made up of a white field with a red circle in the middle of the flag. The capital and largest city of the nation is Tokyo, which means Eastern Capital. The nation has an area of 145,937 square miles, or 377,975 square kilometers, and a population of over 124 million people. In Japan's history, women would sometimes blacken their teeth, as it was widely considered attractive. More than 4/5 of the nation is made up of mountains. Japan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $5.224 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $41,400. Jordan is a country in the Middle East, on the Red Sea. It borders either 4 or 5 other countries, depending on if you recognize the state of Palestine, the others being Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, and Israel. The flag of Jordan is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of black, white, and green, with a red triangle on the left side which contains a white star. The capital and largest city in the nation is Amman. The country has an area of 34,486 square miles, or 89,318 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Indiana, and has a population of just under 11 million people, which ranks it ahead of the Czech Republic. Jordan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $100.16 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $9,800. Kazakhstan is a country in Central Asia. It's bordered by Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and China. It has an area of 1,693,174 square miles, or 2,724,900 square kilometers, making Kazakhstan the 10th largest country in the world. The nation's flag is made up of a blue background with a golden sun and eagle, as well as an ornamental pattern on the side of the flag. Kazakhstan has a population of over 19 million people, making it the 64th most populous nation in the world. The country's largest city is Almaty, with a population of a little under 2 million people. The capital of Kazakhstan is Nur-Sultan, which was formerly known as Astana. The nation has a GDP of $475 billion. Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in the world. North Korea is a country in East Asia. It borders 3 other countries, which are China, Russia, and South Korea. The flag of North Korea is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of blue, white, and red, with a red star and a white circle on the left of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Pyongyang, which has a population of over 2 million people. The country has an area of 47,399 square miles, or 122,762 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than Virginia, and has a population of over 25 million people. The nation takes up the northern portion of the Korean Peninsula and has a tense relationship with South Korea. North Korea has a purchasing power parity GDP of $40 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $1,700. South Korea is a country in East Asia. It borders 1 other country, which is North Korea. The flag of South Korea has a red and blue taeguk, as well as 4 symbols surrounding it on a white background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Seoul, which has a population of over 9.5 million people. The country has an area of 38,749 square miles, or 100,360 square kilometers, and a population of over 51 million people. About 70% of the country's land is mountainous, and 81.4% of the population is urban. South Korea has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.187 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $42,300. Kuwait is a country in the Middle East. It borders 2 other countries, which are Iraq and Saudi Arabia. The flag of Kuwait is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of green, white, and red, with a black trapezoid on the left side. The capital and largest city in the nation is Kuwait City, which has a population of over 60,000 people. The country has an area of 6,880 square miles, or 70,818 square kilometers, and a population of over 3 million people. Arabic is the official language of the nation, and Islam is the official religion, which makes up 74.6% of the population. Kuwait has a purchasing power parity GDP of $209.74 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $49,900. Kyrgyzstan is a landlocked country in Central Asia. It borders 4 other countries, which are Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and China. The flag of Kyrgyzstan is made up of a red field with a yellow sun, which contains a depiction of the top of a yurt in the center. The capital and largest city in the nation is Bishkek, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 124,243 square miles, or 199,951 square kilometers, and a population of over 6 million people. Kyrgyz and Russian are the official languages of the nation. Kyrgyzstan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $31.02 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,700. Laos is a landlocked country in Southeast Asia. It borders 5 countries, which are Cambodia, Myanmar, China, Vietnam, and Thailand. The flag of Laos is made up of 3 stripes, which are red and blue with a white disc in the center. The capital and largest city in Laos is Vientiane, which has a population of over 693,000 people. The nation has a population of over 7.5 million people, ranking it 101st in the world. Laos has an area of 147,140 square miles, or 236,800 square kilometers, ranking it 84th in the world. Lao is the official language of Laos, and the main religion in the country is Buddhism, which makes up 64.7% of the population. Forests make up 67.9% of the nation's land. Laos has a GDP of $56.79 billion, and a GDP per capita of $7,800. Lebanon is a country in the Middle East, on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 2 other countries, which are Israel and Syria. The flag of Lebanon is made of 3 horizontal stripes of red and white, with a green symbol of a cedar tree in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Beirut, which has a population of over 1.5 million people. The country has an area of 4,036 square miles, or 10,452 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Jamaica, and has a population of over 5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Ireland. Lebanon has a purchasing power parity GDP of $79.51 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $11,600. Malaysia is a country in Southeast Asia, split between the Malay Peninsula and the island of Borneo. It borders 3 other countries, which are Brunei, Indonesia, and Thailand. The flag of Malaysia is made up of 14 horizontal stripes of red and white, with a blue field in the upper left corner, which contains a yellow 14-point star and moon. The capital and largest city in the nation is Kuala Lumpur, which is located on the Malay Peninsula. The country has an area of 127,507 square miles, or 330,241 square kilometers, making it a bit smaller than Vietnam, and has a population of over 33 million people. The official religion in the nation is Islam, which makes up 61.3% of the population. Malaysia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $851.6 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $26,400. The Maldives is an island nation in the Indian Ocean. The flag of the Maldives features the white crescent moon, on top of a green field on top of a red background. The capital and largest city in the country is Male, which has a population of over 100,000 people. The nation has an area of 115 square miles, or 298 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than Malta, and has a population of over 390,000 people. The nation has 1,190 islands, 200 of which are inhabited. The Maldives has a purchasing power parity GDP of $7.05 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $13,000. Mongolia is a landlocked country in northern Asia. It borders 2 countries, which are Russia and China. The flag of Mongolia is made up of 3 vertical stripes of red and blue, with the Soyombo symbol on the left. The capital and largest city in Mongolia is Ulaanbaatar, which has a population of over 1 million people. Mongolian is the official language, which is spoken by 90% of the nation. Buddhism is the most common religion, taking up 51.7% of the population. 73% of the land is used for agriculture. The country has an area of 971,896 square miles, or 1,564,116 square kilometers, ranking it 20th in the world. Mongolia has a population of over 3 million people, ranking it 134th in the world, as well as the least densely populated independent nation. Mongolia has a GDP of $37.6 billion, and a GDP per capita of $11,500. Myanmar, formerly Burma, is a country in Southeast Asia. The nation borders 5 other countries, which are Bangladesh, China, India, Thailand, and Laos. The flag of Myanmar is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of yellow, green, and red, with a white star in the center. The capital of the country is Naypyidaw, and the largest city is Yangon, which has a population of over 4 million people. Myanmar has an area of 420,406 square miles, or 676,578 square kilometers. The country has a population of over 57 million people, ranking it 25th in the world. Myanmar has a GDP of $247.24 billion, and a GDP per capita of $4,500. Nepal is a landlocked country in South Asia. It borders 2 other countries, which are China and India. The flag of Nepal features a white crescent moon and a white sun, on top of a red background with a blue outline. It is the only national flag not to be rectangular, but instead is made out of 2 triangles. The capital and largest city in the country is Kathmandu, which has a population of over 845,000 people. The nation has an area of 56,827 square miles, or 147,181 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit bigger than the state of New York. It has a population of over 30.5 million people. Nepal has a purchasing power parity GDP of $110.72 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,800. Oman is a country in the Middle East. It borders 3 other countries, which are Yemen, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. The flag of Oman is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white, red, and green, as well as a vertical red stripe on the left, with the national emblem in the upper left corner. The capital and largest city in the nation is Muscat. The country has an area of 119,684 square miles, or 309,980 square kilometers, making it a little bit smaller than Poland, and has a population of over 6.5 million people. Oman has a purchasing power parity GDP of $35.79 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $27,300. Pakistan is a country in South Asia. It borders 4 other countries, which are Afghanistan, China, India, and Iran. The flag of Pakistan is made up of a dark green field which contains a white star and crescent moon, as well as a vertical white stripe on the left side. The nation's capital is Islamabad, and the largest city is Karachi, which has the population of over 14 million people. The country has an area of 494,670 square miles, or 796,095 square kilometers, and a population of over 238 million people. Islam is the official religion of the nation, which makes up 96.5% of the population. Pakistan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1,021,130,000,000 and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,600. The Philippines is an island nation in Southeast Asia. The flag of the Philippines is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and red, with a white triangle on the left side of the flag, which contains 3 yellow stars, and a yellow 8-rayed sun, and is flipped upside down during wartime. The capital of the country is Manila, and the largest city is Quezon City, which has a population of almost 3 million people. The nation has an area of 114,145 square miles, or 295,633 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Arizona, and has a population of over 114.5 million people. The Philippines has a purchasing power parity GDP of $871.56 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $8,000. Qatar is a country in the Middle East. Its only land border is Saudi Arabia. The flag of Qatar is made up of a white band separated from maroon by a jagged edge. The flag is very similar to the flag of Bahrain. The capital and largest city in Qatar is Doha, which has a population of over 500,000 people. The nation is located on the Persian Gulf and has an area of 7,199 square miles, or 11,586 square kilometers, making it the 164th largest country in the world. The population of Qatar is over 2 million people and ranks the country 143rd in the world. Arabic is the official language of the nation, and Islam is the main religion in the country, with 65% of the population being part of that faith. Qatar has a GDP of $245.66 billion. Saudi Arabia is a country in the Middle East, on the Arabian Peninsula. It borders 7 other countries, which are Yemen, Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Qatar, Kuwait, and Oman. The flag of Saudi Arabia features white thulith text, with a white sword underneath, on a green background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Riyadh. The country has an area of 830,000 square miles, or 2,149,690 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Mexico, and has a population of over 35 million people, which ranks it ahead of Angola. Saudi Arabia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.543 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $44,300. Singapore is an island city-state in Southeast Asia, near the Malay Peninsula. The flag of Singapore is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and white, with a white crescent moon and 5 white stars in the upper left corner of the flag. The country has an area of 272 square miles, or 704 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the Federated States of Micronesia, and has a population of a little under 6 million people, which ranks it ahead of Denmark. Mandarin, Malay, Tamil, and English are official languages in the nation. Singapore has a purchasing power parity GDP of $531.04 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $93,400. Sri Lanka is an island nation in the Indian Ocean near India. The flag of Sri Lanka is made up of a yellow field, with 2 vertical stripes of green and orange on the left, and a maroon field on the right, which features a yellow lion holding a sword in its right paw, surrounded by 4 leaves. The executive and judicial capital, as well as the largest city, is Colombo. The country has an area of 40,768 square miles, or 65,610 square kilometers, and a population of over 23 million people. The nation's official religion is Buddhism, which makes up 70.2% of the population. Sri Lanka has a purchasing power parity GDP of $274.8 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,500. Syria is a country in the Middle East on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 5 other countries, which are Turkey, Iraq, Lebanon, Israel, and Jordan. The flag of Syria is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and black, as well as 2 green 5-point stars in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Damascus, which is one of the world's oldest cities. The country has an area of 71,498 square miles, or 185,180 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than Cambodia, and has a population of over 21.5 million people. Arabic is the official language in the nation, and Islam is the official religion. Syria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $50.28 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,900, both as of 2015. Tajikistan is a landlocked country in Central Asia. It borders 4 other countries, which are Afghanistan, China, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. The flag of Tajikistan is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and green, with a yellow crown which features 7 5-pointed stars in the middle of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Dushanbe, which has a population of over 800,000 people. The country has an area of 54,595 square miles, or 141,400 square kilometers, and a population of a little under 9 million people. The official language is Tajik, and the most common religion is Islam, which makes up 98% of the nation. Tajikistan has a purchasing power parity GDP of $34.88 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,700. Thailand Thailand is a country in Southeast Asia, on the Gulf of Thailand and the Andaman Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are Malaysia, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos. The flag of Thailand is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of red, white, and blue, with the blue stripe being twice as wide as the others. The capital and largest city in the nation is Bangkok, which has a population of over 8 million people. The country has an area of 198,117 square miles, or 513,120 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than Spain. It has a population of over 69.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of France. The most common religion in the nation is Buddhism, which makes up 94.6% of the population. Thailand has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.206 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $17,300. East Timor, or Timor-Leste, is an island nation in Southeast Asia. It shares the island of Timor with Indonesia. The flag of East Timor is made up of 2 triangles, of black and yellow stacked on top of each other, on a red background, with a white star on the left side of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Dili, which has a population of over 244,000 people. The nation has an area of 5,760 square miles, or 14,919 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Connecticut, and has a population of over 1 million people, which ranks it behind Bahrain. East Timor has a purchasing power parity GDP of $4.19 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,200. Turkey is a country in Southwest Asia, with some territory in Southeast Europe, on the Mediterranean and Black Seas. It borders 8 other countries, which are Armenia, Syria, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Bulgaria, Iran, Georgia, and Greece. The flag of Turkey features a white crescent moon and star on top of a red background. The capital of the nation is Ankara. The largest city is Istanbul, which has a population of over 15 million people. The country has an area of 297,146 square miles, or 769,604 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Texas. It has a population of over 83 million people, which ranks it behind Germany. Turkey has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.393 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $28,400. Turkmenistan is a landlocked country in Central Asia. The nation borders 4 other countries, which are Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, and Iran. The flag of Turkmenistan is made up of a green field with a white crescent moon and 5 stars, as well as a carpet design on the left side. Ashgabat is the capital and largest city in the country. Turkmenistan is an area of 303,291 square miles, or 488,100 square kilometers, and a population of over 5.5 million people. Turkmen is the official language, which is spoken by 72% of the nation, and Islam is the main religion, making up 93% of the population. Turkmenistan has a GDP of $92.33 billion and GDP per capita of $15,500. The United Arab Emirates is a country in the Middle East made up of 7 different emirates. It borders both Saudi Arabia and Oman, as well as Qatar and Iran by sea. The official language of the UAE is Arabic. The nation has a population of over 9.8 million people, making it the 92nd most populated country in the world. 87.9% of the population is made up of immigrants to the country. The largest city in the UAE is Dubai, which is the capital of the Emirate of Dubai and has a population of over 3 million, whereas the capital of the nation is Abu Dhabi. Islam is the majority religion, making up 76% of the population. The United Arab Emirates is a little bit bigger than South Carolina in area. 87.3% of the country's population is urban. The nation has a desert climate. In the east of the UAE, there are mountains which have cooler temperatures than the rest of the country. Uzbekistan is a landlocked country in Central Asia. It borders 5 other countries, which are Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tashkent, which has a population of over 2.5 million people. The flag of Uzbekistan is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of blue, red, white, and green, with a crescent moon and 12 stars in the upper right of the flag. The country has an area of 278,001 square miles, or 447,400 square kilometers, and a population of over 30.5 million people. Uzbekistan has a GDP of $239.42 billion, and a GDP per capita of $7,000. Vietnam is a country in Southeast Asia. It borders 3 other countries, which are Cambodia, China, and Laos. The flag of Vietnam features a 5-pointed yellow star in the center of the flag on top of a red background. The capital of the nation is Hanoi, and the largest city is Ho Chi Minh City, which has a population of over 8 million people. The country has an area of 127,891 square miles, or 331,236 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than the state of New Mexico, and has a population of over 103 million people. 45% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Vietnam has a purchasing power parity GDP of $798.21 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $8,200. Yemen is a country in the Middle East. It borders 2 other countries, which are Oman and Saudi Arabia. The flag of Yemen is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and black. The largest city in the nation is Sana'a, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 203,891 square miles, or 528,076 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Afghanistan, and has a population of over 30 million people, which ranks it ahead of Nepal. Arabic is the official language of the nation. Yemen has a purchasing power parity GDP of $73.63 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,500. Albania is a country in southeastern Europe. It borders either 3 or 4 other countries, depending on if you recognize Kosovo. The others being Greece, North Macedonia, and Montenegro. The flag of Albania features a 2-headed black eagle on top of a red field. The capital and largest city in the country is Tirana. The country has an area of 11,082 square miles, or 28,703 square kilometers, making it a little bit smaller than Equatorial Guinea, and has a population of over 3 million people. Albanian is the official language, which is spoken by 98.8% of the nation. Albania has a purchasing power parity GDP of $37.73 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $13,300. Andorra is a landlocked Western European country in the Pyrenees Mountains. It borders two other countries, which are France and Spain. The flag of Andorra is made up of 3 vertical stripes of blue, yellow, and red, with the nation's coat of arms in the center. The capital and largest city in Andorra is Andorra la Vella, which means Andorra the Old, and has a population of over 19,000 people. The country has an area of 290 square miles, or 468 square kilometers, and a population of over 85,000 people. The nation is a co-principality of princes who are the bishop of a town in Spain and the president of France. Andorra has a purchasing power parity GDP of $3.327 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $49,900. Armenia is a landlocked country in the Caucasus Mountains. It borders 4 other countries, which are Turkey, Iran, Georgia, and Azerbaijan. The flag of Armenia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, blue, and orange. The capital and largest city in the nation is Yerevan, with a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 975 square miles, or 1,570 square kilometers, and a population of over 3 million people. Armenian is the official language, which is spoken by 97.9% of the nation. Armenia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $37.31 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,600. Austria is a landlocked country in Central Europe. It borders 8 other countries, which are Switzerland, the Czech Republic, Slovenia, Germany, Slovakia, Hungary, Liechtenstein, and Italy. The flag of Austria is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red and white. The capital and largest city in the nation is Vienna, which has a population of just under 2 million people. The country has an area of 32,387 square miles, or 83,883 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of South Carolina, and has a population of just under 9 million people, which ranks it ahead of Sierra Leone. Austria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $463.12 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $51,900. Belarus is a landlocked country in Eastern Europe. It borders 5 other countries, which are Ukraine, Russia, Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia. The flag of Belarus is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and green, with a red and white traditional decorative pattern on the left of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Minsk, which has a population of over 2 million people. The country has an area of 80,155 square miles, or 207,600 square kilometers, making it a little bit smaller than the state of Kansas, and has a population of over 9 million people. Belarusian and Russian are the official languages of the nation, and 80.3% of the population is urban. Belarus has a purchasing power parity GDP of $179.97 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $19,100. Belgium is a country in Western Europe on the North Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are the Netherlands, France, Germany, and Luxembourg. The flag of Belgium is made up of 3 vertical stripes of black, yellow, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Brussels, which is also the seat of the European Union. The country has an area of 11,787 square miles, or 30,528 square kilometers, which makes it about the size of the state of Maryland, and has a population of over 11.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of South Sudan. Belgium has a purchasing power parity GDP of $557.11 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $48,200. Bosnia and Herzegovina is a country in southeastern Europe, on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 3 other countries, which are Serbia, Croatia, and Montenegro. The flag of Bosnia and Herzegovina features a yellow triangle and 9 white 5-pointed stars, some of which are not fully shown, on a blue background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Sarajevo, which has a population of over 300,000 people. The country has an area of 19,772 square miles, or 51,209 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit bigger than Costa Rica, and has a population of over 3.5 million people. Bosnia and Herzegovina has a purchasing power parity GDP of $47.05 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $14,300. Bulgaria is a country in the Balkans, on the Black Sea. It borders 5 other countries, which are Greece, Turkey, North Macedonia, Serbia, and Romania. The flag of Bulgaria is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white, green, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Sofia, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 42,871 square miles, or 111,036 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Tennessee, and has a population of over 6.5 million people, which ranks it behind Libya. Bulgaria has a purchasing power parity GDP of $155.06 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $22,400. Croatia is a country on the Balkan Peninsula, on the Adriatic Sea. It borders 5 other countries, which are Bosnia and Herzegovina, Slovenia, Hungary, Serbia, and Montenegro. The flag of Croatia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and blue, with the coat of arms in the middle of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Zagreb, which has a population of over 600,000 people. The country has an area of 21,851 square miles, or 56,594 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Togo. It has a population of over 4 million people, which ranks it ahead of Mauritania. Croatia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $107.11 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $26,500. The Republic of Cyprus is an island nation in the Mediterranean Sea. The northern part of the island is controlled by Northern Cyprus, which is only recognized by Turkey. The flag of Cyprus features the shape of the island, with 2 olive branches beneath it on a white background. The capital and largest city in the country is Nicosia. The island has an area of 3,572 square miles, or 9,251 square kilometers, which makes it the 3rd largest island in the Mediterranean Sea. The nation has a population of over 1 million people, and celebrates its Independence Day on October 1st. The Republic of Cyprus has a purchasing power parity GDP of $33.67 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $37,700. The Czech Republic or Czechia is a landlocked country in Central Europe. It borders 4 other countries which are Slovakia, Poland, Germany, and Austria. The flag of the Czech Republic is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of white and red, with a blue triangle on the left side of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Prague. The country has an area of 30,452 square miles, or 78,870 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than the state of South Carolina, and has a population of over 10.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of the Dominican Republic. Czechia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $409.97 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $38,300. Denmark is a country in Northern Europe, on the Baltic and North Seas. It borders one other country, which is Germany. The flag of Denmark features a white Nordic cross on top of a red background, and is the oldest national flag still in use. The capital and largest city in the nation is Copenhagen. The country has an area of 16,577 square miles, or 42,934 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the Netherlands, and has a population of a little under 6 million people, which ranks it ahead of Turkmenistan. Denmark has a purchasing power parity GDP of $326.2 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $55,900. Estonia is a country in Northeast Europe. It borders 2 other countries, which are Russia and Latvia. The flag of Estonia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of blue, black, and white. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tallinn. The country has an area of 70,504 square miles, or 45,336 square kilometers, and a population of over 1 million people. 52.1% of the nation's land is made up of forests. And Estonian is the official language, which is spoken by 68.7% of the population. Estonia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $47.44 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $35,600. Finland is a country in Northern Europe. It borders 3 other countries, which are Norway, Russia, and Sweden. The flag of Finland features a blue Nordic cross on top of a white background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Helsinki, which has a population of over 600,000 people. The country has an area of 130,681 square miles, or 338,462 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than the state of Montana, and has a population of over 5.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Norway. Finnish is the most common language, which is spoken by 86.5% of the population. Finland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $261.39 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $47,300. France is a country primarily in Western Europe, on the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 9 other countries, which are Andorra, Switzerland, Belgium, Spain, Germany, Monaco, Italy, Luxembourg, and Brazil. The flag of France is made up of 3 vertical stripes of blue, white, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Paris, which has a population of over 2 million people. The country has an area of 210,017 square miles, or 543,941 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Texas, and has a population of over 68 million people, which ranks it ahead of the United Kingdom. France has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.832 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $42,000. Germany is a country in Central Europe, on the Baltic and North Seas. It borders 9 other countries, which are Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, Poland, Czechia or the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, Denmark, Luxembourg, and France. The flag of Germany is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of black, red, and yellow. The capital and largest city in the nation is Berlin, which has a population of over 3 million people. The country has an area of 138,065 square miles, or 357,587 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Montana, and has a population of over 84 million people, which ranks it ahead of Thailand. Germany has a purchasing power parity GDP of $4.238 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $50,900. Greece is a country in Southern Europe, on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are Turkey, North Macedonia, Bulgaria, and Albania. The flag of Greece is made up of 9 horizontal stripes of blue and white, with a blue field in the upper left corner, featuring a white cross. The capital and largest city in the nation is Athens, which is often considered the birthplace of Western civilization. The country has an area of 50,984 square miles, or 132,049 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than Nicaragua, and has a population of over 10.5 million people. Greece has a purchasing power parity GDP of $292.4 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $27,300. Hungary is a country in Central Europe. It borders 7 countries, which are Austria, Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania, Croatia, Serbia, and Slovenia. The flag of Hungary is made up of horizontal stripes of red, white, and green. The official language of the nation is Hungarian, which is spoken by 99.6% of the country. Hungary has a population of over 9 million people, making it the 93rd most populous country in the world. It has an area of 57,804 square miles, or 93,028 square kilometers, ranking it 110th in the world. Hungary's capital and largest city is Budapest, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has a GDP of $302.32 billion. Iceland is an island nation in the Atlantic Ocean. The flag of Iceland features a red Nordic cross, with a white border on a blue background. The capital and largest city in the country is Reykjavik, which has a population of over 134,000 people. The nation has an area of 39,769 square miles, or 103,000 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania, and has a population of over 357,000 people, which ranks it ahead of the Bahamas. The country has approximately 200 volcanoes. Iceland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $19.16 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $52,300. The Republic of Ireland is a country on the island of Ireland in Western Europe. It borders 1 other country, which is the United Kingdom. The flag of Ireland is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, white, and orange. The capital and largest city in the nation is Dublin, which has a population of over 500,000 people. The country has an area of 26,435 square miles, or 68,466 square kilometers, and a population of over 5 million people. It gained independence from the United Kingdom on December 6, 1922. Over 40% of the nation's population lives within 62 miles of Dublin. Ireland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $447.97 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $89,700. Italy is a country in southern Europe, on the Mediterranean Sea. It borders 6 other countries, which are Austria, San Marino, Vatican City, France, Switzerland, and Slovenia. The flag of Italy is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, white, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Rome, which has a population of over 2 million people. The country has an area of 116,629 square miles, or 302,068 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Arizona, and has a population of over 61 million people, which ranks it ahead of Tanzania. Italy contains 2 independent countries, San Marino and Vatican City, which is completely surrounded by Rome. Italy has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.322 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $39,000. Latvia is a country in Eastern Europe, on the Baltic Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are Belarus, Estonia, Russia, and Lithuania. The flag of Latvia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of dark red and white. The capital and largest city in the nation is Riga, which has a population of over 600,000 people. The country has an area of 24,940 square miles, or 64,594 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than West Virginia, and has a population of over 1.5 million people. Latvian is the official language, which is spoken by 56.3% of the nation. Latvia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $56.92 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $29,900. Liechtenstein is a double landlocked country in Central Europe. It borders 2 countries, which are Switzerland and Austria. The flag of Liechtenstein is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and red, with a crown in the upper left. The capital of Liechtenstein is Vaduz. The nation has a population of over 39,000 people, 67% of which are immigrants, and an area of 99 square miles, or 160 square kilometers. The official language of Liechtenstein is German, which is spoken by 91.5% of the nation. 43.1% of the country's land is made up of forests. Liechtenstein has a GDP of $4.978 billion, and a GDP per capita of $139,100. Lithuania is a country in Northeast Europe. It borders 4 other countries, which are Belarus, Latvia, Poland, and Russia. The flag of Lithuania is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of yellow, green, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Vilnius, which has a population of over 500,000 people. The nation has an area of 25,207 square miles, or 65,286 square kilometers, and a population of over 2 million people. Lithuania is the country's official language, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion, which makes up 77.2% of the population. Lithuania has a purchasing power parity GDP of $102.66 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $36,700. Luxembourg is a landlocked country in Western Europe. It borders 3 other countries, which are Belgium, Germany, and France. The flag of Luxembourg is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and blue. The capital and largest city in the nation is Luxembourg City, which has a population of over 94,000 people. The country has an area of 998 square miles, or 2,586 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Rhode Island, and has a population of over 650,000 people, which ranks it ahead of Suriname. Luxembourg has a purchasing power parity GDP of $69.72 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $110,300. Malta is a southern European island nation in the Mediterranean Sea. The flag of Malta is divided vertically between white and red with the St. George Cross in a quarter. The capital of the country is Valletta, and the largest city is St. Paul's Bay, which has a population of over 31,000 people. Malta has 2 official languages, which are Maltese, which is spoken by 90% of the population, and English, which is spoken by 6% of the people. The official religion of the country is Roman Catholicism, which makes up more than 90% of Malta. The nation has a population of over 460,000 people, ranking the country 174th in the world. It has an area of 196 square miles, or 316 square kilometers. 94.8% of the population of Malta is urban. Malta has a GDP of $20.6 billion, and a GDP per capita of $39,200. Moldova is a landlocked country in Eastern Europe. Of course, 2 other countries, which are Romania and Ukraine. The flag of Moldova is made up of 3 vertical stripes of blue, yellow, and red, with the coat of arms in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Chisinau, which has a population of over 500,000 people. The country has an area of 13,067 square miles, or 33,843 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than the state of Maryland, and has a population of over 3 million people. Moldova has a purchasing power parity GDP of $32.26 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,300. Monaco is a city-state in Western Europe. The only other country it borders is France. The flag of Monaco is made up of 2 red and white stripes. It is almost the same as the Indonesian flag. Also, the flag of Poland is very similar, just if the colors reverse. Monaco has a population of a bit over 38,000 people. The country has an area of 2 square kilometers, making it the 2nd smallest country in the world. French is the official language of the nation. Roman Catholicism is the official religion, which makes up 90% of the population. Monaco has a GDP of $7.672 billion, and a GDP per capita of $115,700. Montenegro is a country in the Balkans, on the Adriatic Sea. It borders either 4 or 5 other countries, depending on if you recognize Kosovo. The others being Bosnia and Herzegovina, Albania, Croatia, and Serbia. The flag of Montenegro features a coat of arms on top of a red background, which is surrounded by a golden border. The capital and largest city in the country is Podgorica, which has a population of over 150,000 people. The country is an area of 5,362 square miles, or 13,888 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Connecticut, and has a population of over 600,000 people, which ranks it ahead of Cabo Verde. Montenegro has a purchasing power parity GDP of $11.36 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $18,300. The Netherlands is a country in Western Europe on the North Sea. It borders 2 other countries, which are Belgium and Germany. The flag of the Netherlands is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, white, and blue. The capital and largest city in the nation is Amsterdam, though the seat of government is in The Hague. The country has an area of 16,033 square miles, or 41,526 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit bigger than Switzerland, and has a population of over 17 million people, which ranks it a little ahead of Ecuador. Dutch is the official language in the nation, and around a quarter of its land is under sea level. The Netherlands has a purchasing power parity GDP of $945.48 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $54,200. The Republic of North Macedonia is a landlocked country in Southeast Europe. It borders either 4 or 5 countries, depending on if you recognize Kosovo as a country. The rest are Serbia, Albania, Greece, and Bulgaria. The flag of North Macedonia is made up of a yellow sun with 8 yellow rays on a red background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Skopje, which has a population of 512,000 people. North Macedonia has an area of 15,977 square miles, or 25,713 square kilometers. The country has a population of over 2 million people. Macedonian is the official language and makes up 66.5% of the nation. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 65% of the population. North Macedonia has a GDP of $33 billion and a GDP per capita of $15,800. Norway is a country in Northern Europe, on the North Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 3 other countries, which are Russia, Finland, and Sweden. The flag of Norway features a blue Nordic cross, with a white border on a red background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Oslo, which has a population of just under 700,000 people. The country has an area of 148,718 square miles, or 385,178 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of New Mexico, and has a population of over 5.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of the Republic of the Congo. Norway has a purchasing power parity GDP of $342.06 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $63,600. Poland is a country in Central Europe. It borders 7 other countries, which are Ukraine, Slovakia, Russia, Lithuania, Germany, the Czech Republic or Czechia, and Belarus. The flag of Poland is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of white and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Warsaw, which has a population of over 1 billion people. The country has an area of 120,423 square miles, or 311,895 square kilometers, making it around twice the size of the state of Georgia, and a population of over 38 million people. 85% of the nation is Catholic. Poland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.223 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $32,200. Portugal is a country on the Iberian Peninsula, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 1 other country, which is Spain. The flag of Portugal is divided vertically into 2 sections of green and red, with the coat of arms on the center left of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Lisbon, which has a population of over 500,000 people. The country has an area of 35,608 square miles, or 92,225 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Virginia, and has a population of over 10 million people, which ranks it ahead of the United Arab Emirates. Portugal has a purchasing power parity GDP of $331.64 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $32,200. Romania is a country in southeastern Europe. It borders 5 other countries, which are Bulgaria, Hungary, Ukraine, Moldova, and Serbia. The flag of Romania is made up of 3 vertical stripes of blue, yellow, and red, and is nearly identical to the flag of Chad. The capital and largest city in the nation is Bucharest, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 92,046 square miles, or 238,397 square kilometers, making it a little bit smaller than Oregon, and has a population of over 21 million people. 81.9% of the nation is Eastern Orthodox. Romania has a purchasing power parity GDP of $556.07 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $28,800. Russia is a massive country in Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. It borders 14 other countries, which are Azerbaijan, Belarus, China, Estonia, Finland, Georgia, Kazakhstan, North Korea, Latvia, Lithuania, Mongolia, Norway, Poland, and Ukraine. The flag of Russia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white, blue, and red. The capital and largest city in the nation is Moscow, which has a population of over 12.5 million people. The country has an area of 6,612,077 square miles, or 17,125,200 square kilometers, making it the largest country in the world, and a population of over 142 million people. Russia consumes the 4th largest amount of alcohol per year per capita. The official language is Russian, which makes up 85.7% of the population. Russia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $3.875 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $26,500. San Marino is a landlocked country in southern Europe. It is completely surrounded by Italy. The flag of San Marino is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of white and light blue, with the nation's coat of arms in the center of the flag. The capital of the country is the city of San Marino. The nation has an area of 24 square miles, or 61 square kilometers, making it about a third of Washington, D.C., and has a population of over 34,500 people. The country is a Mediterranean Mediterranean climate. San Marino has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.06 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $60,800. Serbia is a landlocked country in the Balkans. It borders either 7 or 8 countries, depending on if you recognize Kosovo. The others are Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia, North Macedonia, Montenegro, and Hungary. The flag of Serbia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, blue, and white, with a coat of arms on the left side of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Belgrade, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 29,957 square miles, or 77,589 square kilometers, and a population of over 6 million people. Serbian is the official language which is spoken by 88.1% of the population. Serbia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $125.8 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $18,200. Slovakia is a landlocked country in Central Europe. It borders 5 other countries, which are Ukraine, Austria, Czechia or the Czech Republic, Hungary, and Poland. The flag of Slovakia is made up of 3 stripes of white, blue, and red, with the nation's coat of arms on the left side. The capital and largest city in Slovakia is Bratislava, which has a population of over 400,000 people. The nation has an area of 30,468 square miles, or 48,035 square kilometers, and a population of over 5 million people. The country's official language is Slovak, which is spoken by 78.6% of the nation. Roman Catholics are the majority in Slovakia, making up 62% of the population. The nation has a GDP of $165.57 billion and a GDP per capita of $30,300. Slovenia is a country in Central Europe on the Adriatic Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia. The flag of Slovenia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of white, blue, and red, with the coat of arms in the upper left side. The capital and largest city in the nation is Ljubljana, which has a population of over 293,000 people. The country has an area of 7,827 square miles, or 20,271 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of New Jersey, and has a population of over 2 million people, which ranks it ahead of Guinea-Bissau. Slovenia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $76.75 billion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $36,500. Spain is a country on the Iberian Peninsula, on the Atlantic Ocean, and the Mediterranean Sea. It borders France, Portugal, Andorra, and Gibraltar, which is a British overseas territory. The flag of Spain is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red and yellow, with the coat of arms on the left side of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Madrid, which has a population of over 3 million people, and is located approximately in the center of the nation. The country has an area of 195,361 square miles, or 505,983 square kilometers, which makes it a bit more than twice as big as the state of Oregon, and has a population of over 47 million people, which ranks it ahead of Argentina. Spain has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.714 trillion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $36,200. Sweden is a country in Northern Europe, on the Baltic Sea. It borders 2 other countries, which are Norway and Finland. The flag of Sweden features a yellow Nordic cross on top of a blue background. The capital and largest city in the nation is Stockholm, which has a population of a little under 1 million people. The country has an area of 172,752 square miles, or 447,425 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of California, and has a population of over 10 million people, which ranks it behind Greece. Sweden has a purchasing power parity GDP of $524.75 billion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $50,700. Switzerland is a country in Central Europe. It borders 5 other countries, which are Austria, Germany, Italy, France, and Liechtenstein. The flag of Switzerland features a white cross on top of a red background and is unique, being in the shape of a square. The largest city in the nation is Zurich, which has a population of over 423,000 people. The country has an area of 15,943 square miles, or 41,291 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the Netherlands, and has a population of over 8.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Togo. It was neutral in both world wars and didn't join the UN until 2002. Switzerland has a purchasing power parity GDP of $590.71 billion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $68,400. Turkey is a country in Southwest Asia, with some territory in Southeast Europe, on the Mediterranean and Black Seas. It borders 8 other countries, which are Armenia, Syria, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Bulgaria, Iran, Georgia, and Greece. The flag of Turkey features a white crescent moon and star on top of a red background. The capital of the nation is Ankara. The largest city is Istanbul, which has a population of over 15 million people. The country has an area of 297,146 square miles, or 769,604 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than the state of Texas, and has a population of over 83 million people, which ranks it behind Germany. Turkey has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.393 trillion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $28,400. Ukraine is a country in Eastern Europe. It borders 7 other countries, which are Belarus, Hungary, Moldova, Poland, Romania, Russia, and Slovakia. The flag of Ukraine is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and yellow. The capital and largest city in the nation is Kyiv, or Kiev, which has a population of a little under 3 million people. The country has an area of 233,032 square miles, or 603,549 square kilometers, and a population of over 43 million people. The nation has a temperate continental climate, and 69.3% of the population is urban. Ukraine is currently in an ongoing conflict with Russia. Only time will tell how this will change the nation and other countries in the surrounding area. Ukraine has a purchasing power parity GDP of $516.68 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,400. The United Kingdom is an island nation in Western Europe, on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders one other country, which is the Republic of Ireland. The flag of the United Kingdom, aka the Union Jack, or the Union flag, features a red cross, bordered by white on top of a red X, bordered by white on top of a blue background. The capital and largest city in the country is London, which has a population of over 9 million people. The nation is an area of 93,630 square miles, or 242,500 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Oregon, and has a population of over 67.5 million people, which ranks it ahead of Tanzania. The United Kingdom has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.797 trillion and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $41,600. Vatican City is a landlocked city-state in southern Europe. It's completely surrounded by Italy, and more specifically Rome. The flag of Vatican City is made up of two vertical stripes of yellow and white, with the nation's coat of arms on the right side. The country has an area of 0.17 square miles, or 0.44 square kilometers, making it the smallest widely recognized country in the world, as well as a population of 1,000 people. The nation's leader is the Pope, who is also the head of the Roman Catholic Church, which has about 1 billion followers. The country contains St. Peter's Basilica, which is the second largest Christian church in the world. Antigua and Barbuda is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of Antigua and Barbuda features two red triangles, with the remaining portion being divided into sections of black, blue, and white, with half of a yellow sun in the black part of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is St. John's, which has the main port in the nation. The country has an area of 171 square miles, or 442 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than Barbados, and has a population of over 100,000 people, ranking it ahead of Seychelles. Antigua and Barbuda has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.72 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $18,000. The Bahamas are an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of the Bahamas is made up of three horizontal stripes of blue and yellow, with a black triangle on the left side. The capital and largest city in the country is Nassau, and has a population of over 200,000 people. The Bahamas have an area of 8,624 square miles, or 13,880 square kilometers, and have a population of over 352,000 people. The official language of the country is English. The Bahamas have a purchasing power parity GDP of $12.1 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $30,800. Barbados is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of Barbados is a tricolor of blue and yellow with a symbol of a broken trident in the center. The capital and largest city is Bridgetown, which has a population of 89,000 people. The nation has an area of 267 square miles, or 430 square kilometers. Barbados has a population of over 301,000 people. The country spends 0.9% of its GDP on its military. Barbados celebrates its Independence Day on November 30th. Agriculture takes up 32.6% of the nation's land. Barbados has a GDP of $3.7 billion and a GDP per capita of $12,900. Belize is a country in Central America, on the Caribbean Sea. It borders two other countries, which are Mexico and Guatemala. The flag of Belize features the national coat of arms on top of a blue field, with two horizontal red stripes on the top and bottom of the flag. The capital of the nation is Belmopan, and the largest city is Belize City, which has a population of over 66,000 people. The country has an area of 8,867 square miles, or 22,965 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than the state of Massachusetts, and has a population of over 412,000 people, which ranks it ahead of the Maldives. Belize has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.43 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,100. Canada is a country in North America, on the Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic Oceans. It borders one other country, which is the United States. The flag of Canada is made up of three vertical stripes of red and white, with a red maple leaf in the center of the flag. The capital of the nation is Ottawa, and the largest city is Toronto, which has a population of over 2.5 million people. The country has an area of 3,855,103 square miles, or 9,984,670 square kilometers, which makes it the second largest nation in the world, and has a population of over 38 million people, which ranks it ahead of Poland. Canada has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.742 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $45,900. Costa Rica is a country in Central America. It borders two countries, which are Panama and Nicaragua. The flag of Costa Rica is made up of red, white, and blue stripes, with the nation's coat of arms on the left. The capital and largest city in the country is San Jose, which has a population of over 1 million people. Costa Rica has an area of 31,752 square miles, or 51,100 square kilometers, and a population of over 5 million people. Spanish is the official language in the nation. Forests make up a little over half of the country's land. Costa Rica has a GDP of $100.25 billion, and a GDP per capita of $19,700. Cuba is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of Cuba is made up of 5 horizontal stripes of blue and white, with a red triangle on the left of the flag, featuring a white 5-pointed star. The capital and largest city in the country is Havana, which has a population of over 2 million people. The nation has an area of 42,426 square miles, or 109,884 square kilometers, making it the largest country in the Caribbean, and has a population of over 4 million people. Spanish is the official language in the nation, and 60.3% of the land is used for agriculture. Cuba has a purchasing power parity GDP of $137 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,300. Dominica is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of Dominica is made up of a green field, with a cross made up of 3 stripes of yellow, black, and white, and a red circle in the middle, which contains 10 green stars as well as a parrot, which has purple and green feathers. The capital and largest city in the country is Roseau, which has a population of over 14,000 people. The nation has an area of 290 square miles, or 751 square kilometers, and a population of over 74,000 people. English is the official language of the country, and the most common religion is Roman Catholicism. Dominica has a purchasing power parity GDP of $710 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $9,900. The Dominican Republic is an island nation in the Caribbean. It borders one other country, which is Haiti, on the island of Hispaniola. The flag of the Dominican Republic is made up of a white cross, surrounded by fields of red and blue, as well as the national coat of arms in the center. The capital and largest city in the nation is Santo Domingo. The nation is an area of 18,551 square miles, or 48,046 square kilometers, and a population of over 10 million people. Spanish is the official language of the country, and 51.5% of its land is used for agriculture. The Dominican Republic has a purchasing power parity GDP of $184.45 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $17,000. El Salvador is a country in Central America. It borders 2 countries, which are Guatemala and Honduras. The nation's capital and largest city is San Salvador, which has a population of over 316,000 people. The flag of El Salvador is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of blue and white, with the nation's coat of arms in the center. The coat of arms contains a smaller version of the flag. El Salvador has a population of over 6.5 million people, ranking it 109th in the world. It is an area of 13,074 square miles, or 21,041 square kilometers, ranking it 153rd in the world. The official language of the nation is Spanish. The biggest use of land is agriculture, which takes up 74.7% of the country. El Salvador has a GDP of $52.26 billion and a GDP per capita of $8,100. Grenada is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of Grenada is made up of 4 triangles of green and yellow, with a red circle and yellow star in the middle, as well as a yellow and red depiction of nutmeg on the left, and is surrounded by a red border, with 6 yellow 5-pointed stars on the top and bottom of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is St. George's, which has a population of over 39,000 people. The nation has an area of 213 square miles, or 344 square kilometers, and a population of over 113,000 people. The official language of the country is English, and Protestant Christianity is the most common religion, making up 49.2% of the population. Grenada has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.7 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $15,100. Guatemala is a country in Central America, on the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. It borders 4 other countries, which are Belize, El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico. The flag of Guatemala is made up of 3 vertical stripes of blue and white, with the national emblem in the center. The capital and largest city in the country is Guatemala City. The country is an area of 42,042 square miles, or 108,889 square kilometers, making it a little bit smaller than Pennsylvania, and has a population of over 17 million people. Spanish is the official language in the nation, which is spoken by 69.9% of the population. Guatemala has a purchasing power parity GDP of $141.5 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $8,400. Haiti is an island nation in the Caribbean. It borders the Dominican Republic, which is the other country on the island of Hispaniola. The flag of Haiti is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and red, with the country's coat of arms in the middle. The capital and largest city in the nation is Port-au-Prince. Haiti has a population of over 11 million people, ranking it 82nd in the world. The nation has an area of 17,243 square miles, or 27,750 square kilometers. The country has a mountainous landscape. French and Haitian Creole are the official languages in the nation. Haiti has a GDP of $31.62 billion, and a GDP per capita of $2,800. Honduras is a country in Central America. It borders 3 other countries, which are Guatemala, El Salvador, and Nicaragua. The flag of Honduras is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of turquoise and white, with 5 turquoise stars in the middle. The capital and largest city in the nation is Tegucigalpa, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country is an area of 43,433 square miles, or 112,492 square kilometers, and a population of over 9 million people. Spanish is the official language, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion. Honduras has a purchasing power parity GDP of $50.89 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $5,100. Jamaica is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of Jamaica features a diagonal yellow cross and 4 triangles of black and green. The capital and largest city in the nation is Kingston. The nation is an area of 4,244 square miles, or 10,991 square kilometers, making it around half the size of New Jersey, and a population of a bit less than 3 million people. It's the 3rd largest island in the Caribbean. Jamaica has a purchasing power parity GDP of $25.89 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $8,700. Mexico is a country in North America between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. It borders 3 other countries, which are Guatemala, Belize, and the United States. The flag of Mexico is made up of 3 vertical stripes of green, white, and red, with the coat of arms in the center, which features an eagle on a cactus holding a snake in its mouth. The capital and largest city in the nation is Mexico City, which is also the largest city in North America. The country is an area of 756,470 square miles, or 1,959,248 square kilometers, and has a population of over 130 million people. Many crops, including corn, avocados, and vanilla, originated from Mexico. The most common religion in the nation is Roman Catholicism, which makes up 78% of the population. Mexico has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.306 trillion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $17,900. Nicaragua is a country in Central America, on the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. It borders two other countries, which are Costa Rica and Honduras. The flag of Nicaragua is made up of three horizontal stripes of blue and white, with the coat of arms in the center. The capital and largest city in the nation is Managua, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country is an area of 50,337 square miles, or 130,373 square kilometers, making it a little bit bigger than the state of Pennsylvania, as well as the largest country in Central America, and has a population of over 6 million people. Most of the population lives in the western portion of the country. Nicaragua has a purchasing power parity GDP of $34.98 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $5,300. Panama is a country in Central America. It borders two other countries, which are Colombia and Costa Rica. The flag of Panama is made up of two fields of red and blue, as well as two fields of white, two red and blue stars. The capital and largest city in the nation is Panama City. The country has an area of 28,640 square miles, or 74,177 square kilometers, and a population of just under 4 million people. The nation is the Panama Canal, which is approximately 40 miles long, and is one of the most strategic artificial water channels in the world. Panama has a purchasing power parity GDP of $109.52 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $25,400. St. Kitts and Nevis is an island nation in the Caribbean Sea. The flag of St. Kitts and Nevis features the diagonal black stripe, which is bordered by yellow, and divides the flag into two sections of green and red, and has two white stars in the black stripe. The capital and largest city in the country is Basseterre, which has a population of over 11,000 people. The nation has an area of 101 square miles, or 263 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the Maldives, and has a population of over 54,000 people. It is both the smallest and least populous country in the Western Hemisphere. English is the official language of the nation. St. Kitts and Nevis has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.24 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $23,300. St. Lucia is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of St. Lucia is made up of a light blue field with a yellow triangle in front of a longer black triangle partially outlined in white. The capital and largest city in the country is Castries. The nation is an area of 238 square miles, or 617 square kilometers, and a population of over 166,000 people. English is the official language of the nation, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion, which makes up 61.5% of the population. St. Lucia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2.25 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,300. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is an island nation in the Caribbean Sea. The flag of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is made up of three vertical stripes of blue, yellow, and green, as well as three green diamond shapes in the middle of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Kingstown, which has a population of just under 13,000 people. The nation is an area of 150 square miles, or 389 square kilometers, and a population of over 100,000 people. Most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which makes up 75% of the population. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.34 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,100. Trinidad and Tobago is an island nation in the Caribbean. The flag of Trinidad and Tobago is made up of three diagonal stripes of white and black, stretching across a red field. The capital of the country is Port of Spain, and the largest city is San Fernando. The nation is an area of 1,981 square miles, or 5,130 square kilometers, and a population of over 1 million people. The nation contains the biggest natural reservoir of asphalt on Earth, and is the southernmost country in the Caribbean. It gained independence from the United Kingdom on August 31st, 1962. Trinidad and Tobago has a purchasing power parity GDP of $33.21 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $23,700. The United States of America is a country in North America, on the Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic Ocean. It borders two other countries, which are Canada and Mexico. The flag of the United States is made up of 13 horizontal stripes of red and white, with 50 white stars on a blue field. In the upper left corner of the flag, the capital of the nation is Washington, D.C., and the largest city is New York City, which has a population of over 8 million people. The country has an area of 3,797,173 square miles, or 9,834,633 square kilometers, which makes it one of the world's largest countries, and has a population of over 337 million people, which ranks it third in the world. The United States has a purchasing power parity GDP of $19.846 trillion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $60,200. Australia is a country in Oceania, which makes up the entire mainland of the Australian continent. The flag of Australia is made up of a blue field with 5 stars representing the Southern Cross on the right, as well as a Union Jack and a star called the Commonwealth Star on the left of the flag. The capital of the nation is Canberra, and the largest city is Sydney. The country has an area of 4,810,171 square miles, or 7,741,220 square kilometers, and a population of over 25 million people. Australia is the world's driest inhabited continent, and the only continent to not have any glaciers. The most common language is English, which is spoken by 72.7% of the population. Australia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1,250,900,000,000 and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $48,700. New Zealand is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of New Zealand is made up of a blue field with 4 red stars with white borders and a Union Jack in the upper left corner. The capital of the country is Wellington, and the largest city is Auckland, which has a population of over 1 million people. The nation is an area of 167,048 square miles, or 268,838 square kilometers, making it similar in size to Colorado, and has a population of just under 5 million people. The country is the most southern capital on Earth. New Zealand has a purchasing power parity GDP of $215.6 billion and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $42,400. Fiji is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Fiji is made up of a cyan field with the Union Jack in the upper left corner, and the nation's coat of arms on the right. The capital and largest city in Fiji is Suva, which has a population of over 185,000 people. The country has an area of 11,354 square miles, or 18,274 square kilometers, and a population of over 939,000 people. A little over half the nation is urban. 55.7% of the nation's land is made up of forestry. Fiji has a GDP of $9.86 billion, and a GDP per capita of $11,000. Papua New Guinea is a country which takes up the eastern half of the island of New Guinea. It borders one other country, which is Indonesia. The flag of Papua New Guinea is divided diagonally with 5 white stars in the form of the Southern Cross on black on the left, and a yellow bird of paradise on red on the right. The capital and largest city in the nation is Port Moresby, which has a population of over 360,000 people. The country has an area of 178,355 square miles, or 461,937 square kilometers, and a population of over 7 million people. More than 800 indigenous languages are spoken in the nation, which is about 12% of the world's languages. Just 13.6% of the country is urban. Papua New Guinea has a purchasing power parity GDP of $36.69 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,100. The Solomon Islands is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of the Solomon Islands features a diagonal yellow stripe, which divides the flag into 2 parts of blue and green. The blue part contains 5 white stars in the shape of an X. The capital and largest city in the country is Honiara. The nation is an area of 11,740 square miles, or 30,407 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than the state of Maryland. It has a population of over 702,000 people. 78.9% of the country is made up of forests. The Solomon Islands has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.71 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,500. Vanuatu is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Vanuatu is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of red and green, with a horizontal black triangle on the left, featuring a yellow boar's tusk and crossed fern leaves, as well as a yellow horizontal pole shape outlined in black. The capital and largest city in the country is Port Vila, which has a population of over 49,000 people. The nation has an area of 7,573 square miles, or 12,189 square kilometers, and a population of over 303,000 people. The most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which makes up 70% of the nation. Vanuatu has a purchasing power parity GDP of $850 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,800. The Federated States of Micronesia is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Micronesia is made up of a light blue field, 4 white stars arranged in the middle of the flag. The capital of the country is Palikar, and the largest city is Weno, located in Chuuk, which is the most populous state in the country. The nation has an area of 436 square miles, or 702 square kilometers, and a population of over 101,000 people. The country's official language is English, and Roman Catholicism makes up a majority of the nation, with 54.7% of the population. Massive discs of stone, known as ray stones, have been traditionally used as a form of money on Yap Island. Micronesia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $390 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $3,500. Kiribati is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The top half of the flag of Kiribati is red with a yellow sun and a yellow frigate bird. The bottom half is made up of 3 white wavy stripes and 3 blue wavy stripes. The capital and largest city in the nation is South Tarawa, which has a population of over 63,000 people. The country is an area of 503 square miles, or 811 square kilometers, and a population of just over 113,000 people. Agriculture takes up 42% of the nation's land. Kiribati has a purchasing power parity GDP of $270 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $2,300. The Marshall Islands is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of the Marshall Islands features 2 diagonal stripes of orange and white, which taper down toward the bottom left corner of the flag, as well as a white 24-pointed star in the upper left corner, on a blue background. The capital and largest city in the country is Majuro, which has a population of over 27,000 people. The nation has an area of 70 square miles, or 181 square kilometers, which makes it a bit bigger than Liechtenstein, and has a population of over 79,000 people, ranking it ahead of Dominica. The official language in the country is Marshallese, which is spoken by 98.2% of the nation. The Marshall Islands has a purchasing power parity GDP of $240 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,000. Nauru is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Nauru is made up of a blue field, divided by a thin horizontal yellow stripe in the middle, with a white 12-pointed star on the left of the flag. Yaran is the de facto capital of the nation. Denigo Motu is the largest city with a population of a little under 2,000 people. The country has an area of 13 square miles, or 21 square kilometers, making it the 3rd smallest country in the world. The only widely recognized countries which are smaller are Monaco and Vatican City. It has a population of over 9,000 people. Nauru has a purchasing power parity GDP of $150 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $13,500. Palau is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Palau is made up of a light blue field, with a yellow circle slightly to the left side. The capital of the country is Ngurumo, and the largest city is Koror. The country has an area of 285 square miles, or 459 square kilometers. The nation has a population of 21,613 people. Palauan is the most widely spoken language in the country, which makes up 65.2% of the population. Palau has a purchasing power parity GDP of $320 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $17,600. Samoa is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Samoa features a blue field in the upper left corner, on top of a red background, which contains 4 white stars in the shape of the Southern Cross. The capital and largest city in the country is Apia, which has a population of over 35,000 people. The country has an area of 1,093 square miles, or 2,831 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Rhode Island, and has a population of over 206,000 people, which ranks it ahead of St. Lucia. Samoan is the most common language and is spoken by 91.1% of the population. Samoa has a purchasing power parity GDP of $1.25 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,300. Tonga is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Tonga features a red cross on top of a white field in the upper left corner of the flag, on top of a red background. The capital and largest city in the country is Nuku'alofa, which has a population of over 20,000 people. The nation is an area of 251 square miles, or 650 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than Dominica, and has a population of over 105,000 people. Tongan and English are the official languages in the nation, and Protestant Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 64.1% of the population. Tonga has a purchasing power parity GDP of $670 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $6,400. Tuvalu is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The flag of Tuvalu is made up of a blue field with 9 yellow stars and a Union Jack in the upper left corner. The capital and largest city in the country is Funafuti, which has a population of over 6,000 people. The nation has an area of 16 square miles, or 26 square kilometers, and a population of over 11,000 people. The country has 2 official languages, which are Tuvaluan and English. Tuvalu has a purchasing power parity GDP of $50 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $4,400. Argentina is a country in South America on the Atlantic Ocean. It borders 5 other countries, which are Uruguay, Chile, Brazil, Paraguay, and Bolivia. The flag of Argentina is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of light blue and white, with the symbol of the sun in the middle of the flag. The capital and largest city in the nation is Buenos Aires, which is millions of people. The country has an area of 1,077,924 square miles, or 2,791,810 square kilometers, making it the 8th largest country in the world, and has a population of over 45 million people. Spanish is the official language in the nation, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion, which makes up 62.9% of the population. Argentina has a purchasing power parity GDP of $893.31 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $19,700. Bolivia is a landlocked country in South America. It borders 5 other countries, which are Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, and Peru. The flag of Bolivia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of red, yellow, and green, and the state flag includes the national coat of arms. The nation's administrative capital is La Paz, and the constitutional capital is Sucre. The country has an area of 424,165 square miles, or 1,098,581 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than Ethiopia, and has a population of over 12 million people, which ranks it ahead of Tunisia. 52.5% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Bolivia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $92.59 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $7,900. Brazil is a country in South America. It is bordered by 9 other countries, which are Argentina, Bolivia, Guyana, Paraguay, Colombia, Peru, Venezuela, Uruguay, and Suriname. The flag of Brazil is made up of a green field with a yellow rhombus, with a blue circle which contains a starry sky and the national motto. The nation's capital is Brasilia, and the largest city is Sao Paulo, which has a population of over 12 million people. The country has an area of 5,291,454 square miles, or 8,515,770 square kilometers, and a population of over 213 million people. The official language of the nation is Portuguese. Brazil has a purchasing power parity GDP of $2,989,430 million, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $14,100. Chile is a country in South America on the Pacific Ocean. It borders 3 other countries, which are Peru, Bolivia, and Argentina. The flag of Chile is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of white and red, with a blue field containing a white 5-point star in the upper left corner. The capital and largest city in the country is Santiago, which has a population of over 5 million people. The country has an area of 291,930 square miles, or 756,096 square kilometers, making it a bit bigger than Zambia, and has a population of over 18 million people. Spanish is the official language, which is spoken by 99.5% of the population. Chile has a purchasing power parity GDP of $445.88 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $23,300. Colombia is a country in South America on the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. It borders 5 other countries, which are Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, and Panama. The flag of Colombia is made up of 3 horizontal stripes of yellow, blue, and red, with the yellow stripe being twice as thick as the others. The capital and largest city in the nation is Bogota, located in central Colombia. The country has an area of 440,531 square miles, or 1,140,970 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit bigger than Ethiopia, and has a population of over 49 million people. Colombia has a purchasing power parity GDP of $683.94 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $13,400. Ecuador is a country in South America on the Pacific Ocean. It borders 2 other countries, which are Peru and Colombia. The flag of Ecuador is made up of 2 horizontal stripes of blue and red, as well as a yellow horizontal stripe, which is twice as wide as the others, with the national coat of arms in the center. The capital and largest city in the nation is Quito, which has a population of over 1 million people. The country has an area of 99,112 square miles, or 256,700 square kilometers, which makes it a little bit smaller than Nevada, and has a population of over 17 million people. The name Ecuador means equator in Spanish. Ecuador has a purchasing power parity GDP of $182.24 billion, and a purchasing purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $10,300. Guyana is a country in South America. It borders three other countries, which are Suriname, Brazil, and Venezuela. The flag of Guyana features a red triangle partially outlined in black, on top of a yellow triangle partially outlined in white, on top of a green field. The capital and largest city in the nation is Georgetown, which has a population of over 118,000 people. The country has an area of 83,012 square miles, or 214,999 square kilometers, and a population of over 787,000 people. 77.4% of the nation's land is made up of forests. Guyana has a purchasing power parity GDP of $14.69 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $18,700. Paraguay is a landlocked country in South America. It borders three other countries, which are Argentina, Bolivia, and Brazil. The flag of Paraguay is made up of three horizontal stripes of red, white, and blue, with the coat of arms in the center of the flag. The capital and largest city in the country is Asunción, which has a population of over 500,000 people. The country has an area of 157,048 square miles, or 406,752 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of California, and has a population of over 7 million people, which ranks it ahead of Libya. Paraguay has a purchasing power parity GDP of $87.98 billion, and a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $12,300. Peru is a country in South America on the Pacific Ocean. It borders five other countries, which are Bolivia, Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, and Chile. The flag of Peru is made up of three vertical stripes of red and white. The capital and largest city in the nation is Lima. The country has an area of 496,225 square miles, or 1,285,216 square kilometers, which makes it a bit smaller than the state of Alaska, and has a population of over 32 million people, which ranks it ahead of Mozambique. The most common religion is Roman Catholicism, which makes up 60% of the population. Peru has a purchasing power parity GDP of $371.29 billion, and has a purchasing power parity GDP per capita of $11,300. Suriname is a country in South America. It is bordered by three countries, which are Brazil, Guyana, and France, because of French Guiana. The flag of Suriname is made up of five horizontal stripes of green, white, and red with a yellow star in the middle. The capital and largest city in the nation is Paramaribo, which has a population of over 240,000 people. The country has an area of 101,793 square miles, or 163,820 square kilometers, and a population of over 614,000 people. The official language of Suriname is Dutch, which makes it the only Dutch-speaking country in South America. Suriname has a GDP of $9.46 billion, and a GDP per capita of $16,100. Uruguay is a country in the continent of South America. It borders two countries, which are Brazil and Argentina. It has a population of over 3.3 million, making it the 132nd most populous country in the world. The flag of Uruguay is made up of 9 stripes of white and blue with white canton, which features a depiction of the sun. The official language of the nation is Spanish. 87.2% of the land is used for agriculture. The nation's capital is Montevideo, which is also the largest city in Uruguay. The majority religion in the nation is Christianity, with 54% of the population being part of that faith, the majority of those being Catholic. Uruguay has a warm temperate climate. The country has a GDP of $75 billion. Uruguay has the highest amount of cattle per capita, with 3.8 per person. Venezuela is a country in South America. It borders three countries, which are Colombia, Brazil, and Guyana. The flag of Venezuela is made up of 3 stripes of yellow, blue, and red, with a curve of 8 stars in the middle. The capital and largest city in the nation is Caracas. The country has an area of 566,721 square miles, or 912,050 square kilometers, ranking it 34th in the world. Venezuela has a population of over 29 million people, ranking it 50th in the world. Spanish is the official language of the nation, and Christianity is the most common religion, making up 98% of the population. The country has a GDP of $269 billion, and a GDP per capita of $7,704.